Hey,
Welcome to Raising Hell.
to heaven.
So I look like the morning after. I look like the walk of shame, except for who would think? Haven't done that in a very long time.
It's just not our best day. Let's put it that way. But you know what? Who's showing up anyway?
We're showing up because that is the theme of the year. Is just show up and let the
Just show up.
rest pieces fall where they may. Pavement special. I'm gonna use that. That's hilarious.
Yeah,
That's hilarious. Okay.
it's a dog who
Maybe
is
that's it. Okay,
not of
so
good breeding.
one of the questions we got what? I'm dead.
Let's just go to our questions. You shoot. Shoot them at me.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So one of the questions we got is for masculine men, are there feminine characteristics needed? For masculine men, are there traits that women want out of me? Which is an interesting way to put it. Basically, I feel like a lot of guys are like, well, you want me to do feminine things. That's not it's a weird way of looking at it. I think that this whole masculine, feminine, like gender role thing that's going on, what's really happening is we're just saying like to tap into your feminine just means to, and it's good for men also. This isn't something that society or the healthier new way of thinking people are just saying for the benefit of women. It's also for the benefit of men that we're fighting the toxic masculinity, because toxic masculinity is telling them you're not allowed to have feelings because you're a man. You need to be a man and man up. So it's not that we're wanting something out of you. It's that we're wanting you to allow yourself, to give yourself permission to feel. Because the whole time that this last hundreds of years, our society has been telling you that you're a man, so you're not allowed to feel, and that's a lie. So that's kind of my short, sweet take on it. Kate, what are your thoughts?
No, I think that's great. I think it is permission to feel, but I feel like if as soon as you need somebody else to tell you how to be, that's a beautiful, beautiful flag in the sky saying stop and look within, because you need to be good with you. I think it
Yeah.
goes without saying. We discussed this a little bit last week, but the idea of the masculine is the head of the household. And I realize in this day and age, there's been many attacks on the masculine. Um, so a lot of men are not, I mean, they're kind of being shut down and not really allowed to take that role. But I think it goes without saying that you've got to look within. You've got to look within, and this is what I say to my clients: you have to be good with you. And if you're good with you and you're good with God, then something new is going to come out of you. Then that doubt that you feel like, oh, well, what do you need me to be for you? That question is going to go away. It's going to become, this is who I am. This is how I'm showing up. I've integrated my past, my shadow. I'm not a perfect person, but I'm here to improve, and I'm here to bring my masculinity, my gifts, my medicine, because everybody's got medicine to bring and to give. I'm here to bring this to the world, you know? Stepping into your frame and being that person, rather than looking for from outside or expecting somebody else to tell you how to be. Does that answer your question?
I think that's a great answer. What do you think is the equivalent? So for me, I believe that in order for a woman to step into her feminine energy, right, she has to be with a man who is in his masculine energy to allow her to step into that, right? So if she has to pay all the bills and take care of things and make sure everyone is safe and everyone is good. I've been in relationships, right, where I was a little bit of the mother. And because I was more of a motherly characteristic, I was, telling him what he needs to do, where we need to be, what's going on. I was in control at all times. And he looked to me like, yes, his partner, but really a motherly figure. Because I had that responsibility on my back, I was in my masculine energy. And I ended up getting cheated on because I think that what happened is that he felt emasculated, right? Because I'm taking care of everything. And so he went to a woman that made him feel better about himself because he didn't feel like a man around me because I was taking care of everything. The irony is that like I was taking every care of everything because that was what was demanded of me because he wasn't going to. So if you want a woman to feel comfortable stepping into her feminine energy, like you have to be in your masculine energy. So my question is, what do you think, Kate, in your opinion, like what does a woman need to do to make a man feel comfortable being in his masculine energy? That is equivalent to like as a woman I feel comfortable being in my feminine energy when a man is taking care of things, taking lead, not looking to me like a mother.
Mm. So just remember this, and I always like to remember this. We can't make other people feel anything. Like it's our job to show up, and if what we're offering is not received, don't take that upon yourself.
Mhm.
That's not on you. Like if who you are is not enough for someone, also our egos love to come into play here, and it's like, oh, I'm not enough, and we take it personally. It's not personal. It's like, you know, I don't like vanilla milkshakes. I prefer chocolate.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't mean that I hate vanilla. It doesn't mean that vanilla must die. It just means that's my preference, and you're not going to be everybody's preference. So I think the way, I'll just say personally, like how I'm trying to show up is I'm doing a lot of healing on healing my past wounds of like I'm a child of divorce. So my biggest thing was I carried this idea that I wasn't enough to make my dad stay. And
Mm.
that was the 9-year-old me, which was not at all. I mean, my parents had a really amicable divorce. So it was nothing to do with that. Like I was quite lucky in that sense. But I never healed that. And it played out in all my relationships.
Yeah.
So I think if I would like to show up as a woman in a relationship in the role of having done that work to heal. I'm a strong woman as well, but I agreed to be led. I agreed to be led. Like that's a big thing. I think it's important to be able to be independent. Like you're showing up as two independent people. So
Hmm.
to retain that sense of independence so it doesn't become codependent,
Yeah.
but to allow like my man to be a man, like to take care of things.
Yeah.
I, in the past, have, because I've been scared, had a tendency to become very controlling. And it's something that I've also worked on healing. So
Mm-hmm.
I think you've just got to, I don't think that there is a way that one person should show up in a way that another. I think relationships are also individual. So you're going to mirror different things to each other. You are going to bring up what needs healing in both of you. Like when you look in that mirror,
Mm-hmm.
when you're looking at the other person, that stuff is going to come up. And I think it's how
Yeah.
you communicate
Yeah.
and how you deal with any like unprocessed traumas and stuff when they come up.
Mm-hmm. And
Yeah.
communication is so big, right? Like that goes back to like another thing that I think is just a game changer, is when men learn to feel comfortable communicating because again it goes back to our society telling them to just bottle up your feelings, but then you're not communicating and we don't know what we don't know. So if we don't know that what we did hurt you, or if we don't know that what you us taking over, we're doing too much, or if we don't know that that made you feel like we were complaining, when you know what I mean, like communication and the way men and women communicate is very different too, right? Where a lot of women just want to be heard and the guy wants to fix it. But once the guy, like we were talking about last week, right? So once you're communicating well, you can be like, hey, do you want me, the man could be to the woman, do you want me to fix this problem or did you just want to be heard? And the women should be asking the men the same question, right? Do you want me to step in here or do you want me to do you want to take the lead on this one because I'm willing to, right, let you lead. And I think that communicating too, and words of affirmation are really huge. And I don't think men get compliments enough. That's one thing I noticed that I needed to work on a lot with my previous relationships, is especially because I had the society telling me, like, you don't want to be a simp, you don't want to be obsessed with him, you don't. So I wouldn't give guys compliments because I was like, I don't want to seem like I'm obsessed with them and like this and that. So I realized that like I just didn't at all. But men need compliments too, like just like we want to be told we're pretty. They want to be told like you look good today or you did a really good job on that. Like, you know what I mean? Like I appreciate you. You showed up for me. Like you're leading really well. Like, you know what I mean? Like words of affirmation and communication is the answer to everything. I feel like
Communicate, that's
truly.
just it. That is it. It is communication, and don't be afraid to ask the questions. I was speaking to someone about this today, and it's such a beautiful concept because so many people struggle with it. That fear that we sit with. Like if you're in a relationship, maybe you have a fear to be totally honest with someone,
Mm,
a fear to be honest about your past, a fear to be honest about anything like a situation or a feeling that you might be having, or maybe you've done something that it could be kind of shady or you've just messed up. But we have this fear because underneath the fear, so underneath the lie is the fear. And that fear is generally like a fear of rejection or a fear of abandonment or a fear of like if I actually take off this mask and I ask this question and I show up as myself, I'm going to be abandoned because fundamentally I'm not good enough.
right.
So I just encourage people to look at that. Like if you feel that there's something that you're not able to say in a relationship and you don't feel comfortable to say it, look at why you don't feel comfortable. And it might be that you're just not with the right person. Sorry, person. You might be in an abusive relationship. You might be, that's quite possible. Then you need to
Yeah.
leave. And we know how hard
Yeah.
that is. We know. But if you can't be honest with the person that you're with and you can't communicate openly, then there is something very, very, very wrong because that is a necessity for a healthy, conscious
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah. You should be
What do you
able to communicate what you're feeling in a way where you feel safe.
Yeah.
Feeling safe is huge for both parties. Like I think girls are more afraid that the guy's going to get upset. Guys are afraid that the girl's going to like be dramatic or freak out. Like that's the stigma, right? And
Yeah.
with the appropriate person, you won't have to. I remember with my ex being just terrified anytime I was going to tell him anything, thinking he was going to get mad at me because that's all I knew previously. Not from my father, but from previous partners. And time again, I would tell him things and he would be like, "Why would I get mad at you?" And he had to show me again and again that I didn't have to be scared. And then finally I realized, but we have to definitely, like, you can't bottle up. You have to try. And if they do get mad at you and make you not feel safe, like you said, that's a sign that you're not in a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
And if they are, that's a green flag, and you are in a healthy relationship. Boom. Comment for more.
Yeah. Send us your questions. Send us your questions. Give us
Yes.
some hard
Thanks for
topics. We
watching
don't
us.
want to see more.
Yeah, we just had some really light, fun ones today.
So nice and fun.
Okay. Next time I
Okay.
won't. What did you say? Pavement something?
Oh, payment special.
Pavement special. Thanks for watching the pavement special. We will see you next time. Subscribe, like below. We love you.
Bye.
Ciao.